The athletic footwear and clothing company Nike has had a horrible month. So Nike crashed in recent weeks, down 29% over the past month. And if you think that's limited to just this past month, well, we zoom out to the past 3 months and they are down over 30%. You zoom out to the past 6 months, they're down over 40%. You zoom out to the past year, and if you think of all the gains that have been made in the market in the past year, Nike is down almost 32%. And if you look at the past 5 years, Nike is going down and down and down, 66.66% down in that time. That is not a good number. So what we want to look at in this video is look at Nike and 4 of its competitors to see if we wanted to get into the athletic apparel space, what are some quality companies? Should we buy the dip on Nike, or should we look maybe elsewhere to get into that space? So as we typically do on this channel, we're going to look at those companies. We're going to look at their safety metrics that we value here at Interflame Finance, their safety scores and their recent performance. After that, we're going to look at their growth metrics and look at those growth scores and rate them. And then finally, we're going to look at some intrinsic values, analyst expectations, and how we might invest a hypothetical $1,000 into these companies if we wanted to put that money into athletic footwear and apparel. So the first company that we're going to look at in the safety scores is Birkenstock. Birkenstock has a PE currently at 14.9, and in the past 5 years, that's been 32. So they're actually trading at half their valuation, which is very attractive for that company. Debt to equity is 0.5. We like to see that under 1. That's good news. In fact, we like to see that under 0.7 for safety. That just means that they don't have a lot of debt relative to how much equity is in the company. Interest coverage at 9.2. That's pretty decent. Free cash flow yield at 4.3%. For consumer discretionary companies, we'd like for that to be a little bit higher. They do not pay a dividend. That's going to hurt their score. Their beta is at a 1.1. We want that to be 1 or under for safety metrics. And their return on assets is an okay 7.4%. Now, they have also had a terrible month, down about 17% in that time. We zoom out to the past 3 months. They are also on a downward trajectory at 15.35% down. Past half of a year, down a quarter of its market cap. Over the past year, Birkenstock is down also a quarter. And we zoom out to the past 5 years, not as bad as Nike, but we see that consistent 25% down. And this seems to be a company that is going up and down, up and down, up and down. But it looks like those bottoms, we are not technical people on this channel, but it looks like these bottoms are getting lower and lower and lower each time they crash. The second company that we're going to look at is Decker. Now, Decker is the company that makes both Uggs and Hoka. So I see a lot of Hoka when I go to the grocery store, when I go to the doctors. A lot of people that are on their feet all day long typically prefer Hokas. And this is actually a position that we hold at Interflame Finance. Their current PE is one of the lowest of these companies at a 14.1. Historically, they trade at about a 23 valuation. So we are getting a deal on Decker if we were to buy it. Their debt to equity is very low at 0.1. Their interest coverage is almost 400. That is astonishing. Free cash flow yield coming in at 6.6%. That is great. We like to see that 7 and above. 6.6 is pretty close. And their return on assets is a whopping 22.8%. And we see a common theme here. This is another company that has been just beaten down over the past month, down 16% in that time. Over the past 3 months, not as bad as the other companies that we've seen so far, down just 5%. Over the past 6 months, they're down about 2.8%. Over the past year, they're down 13.27%. And over the past 5 years, this is a company that's actually gone up. They are carving their way out in the footwear and athletic wear space, up 78% in that time. Lululemon has a PE at 11.9. That is the lowest of all 5 companies that we're going to look at. And historically, they traded for about a 34 PE in the past 5 years. So we are getting it at about a third of its valuation, which is quite nice to see. Price to sales, the best of all these companies, 1.7. Their free cash flow yield is second best at 5% even. Beta at 1.1. Return on assets, 18.4%. And this company has also had a crummy month, down about 16%. Over the past 3 months, they are down about a quarter. Over the past 6 months, down 12.31%. If we zoom out to the past year, Lululemon has been beaten down 44%. But over the past 5 years, also not looking good, down 48%. So in the past 5 years, Lululemon has lost about half of its market cap. Next up is Nike. We've also seen their stock charts, and if we want to consider possibly buying the dip, we have to take this into consideration. Their historical PE is 31.2, and they are not trading far off of it. They're trading at a 29.1 currently, so they're trading just a little bit below that historical. We look at Birkenstock, Decker, Lululemon, and they are trading at quite a discount relative to their historical 5-year PE ratio, and so Nike is trading basically where they've been trading over the past 5 years. Price to sales is the best at 1.4. This is the only company that of these 5 companies pays any dividend at 3.7%. They have grown their dividends for 24 consecutive years. Their payout ratio is creeping up. They're almost 90%. We like to see that maybe between 30 and 50%, maybe 60% tops. Their beta is quite high at 1.3, and their return on assets is relatively low at 5.4%. And finally, we're going to look at On Holdings. On very high valuations historically at a 76.5, and they're still trading pretty rich at a 44.8. Their debt to equity is quite low at 0.3. That's nice to see. Their interest coverage is 17.6. That's very nice to see. They don't pay a dividend. Their beta is double most of the other companies in this list at a 2.2. So just remember that beta basically measures how much this company is going to change relative to the market. So for example, if the market were to go down 1%, On Holdings would go down 2.2 times that, or it would go down 2.2%. So it just basically measures how far from the market it's going to move based on market moves. Now, On Holding has had a very, very bad month, down 29% over the past 3 months, also 29%. Over the past 6 months, this company is down over 19%. Over the past year, 22.65%. And if we zoom out to the past 5 years, it has grown, it has gone up. However, not as much as Decker, but it has seen some growth. Very, very big contrast to a company like Nike. So how do we at Interflame Finance rate these companies? So what we do on this channel is we score companies based on these safety metrics from -10 to +10. -10 is an absolute garbage company. +10 is a fantastic, perfect company. And at the bottom of the safety scores is On Holding, coming in at a 4.1. Next is Nike, coming in at a 5. Now, based on that -10 to +10 scoring scale, 0 is neutral. So we don't want neutral. We don't want mediocre companies. We want companies that score 5 or higher, typically on this channel. So Nike coming in right at that 5 lets us know that it's at the very bottom of what we would prefer at Interflame Finance for safety. And probably the only thing propping up Nike at this point is the fact that they pay any dividend at all. And the next score is quite a bit higher than Nike. Birkenstock trading at a 7.9. Lululemon coming in at an 8.7 on our scale. And Decker tied with Lululemon also at an 8.7. And really, these numbers just go to show that, yes, Nike is the only company that pays any dividend. They have grown their dividends for 24 years. But we see this valuation problem, the fact that they are trading so close to their 5-year historical PE, and those have not been a good 5 years for this company. So that really is dragging down the safety score for Nike. So we like relatively safe stocks in our portfolio, but we want our companies to grow as well. So what we're going to do is look at some growth metrics for all 5 companies. But this would be a great place in the video to ask that if you're getting anything out of this so far, please consider liking this video. It really helps out the channel. And if you want to subscribe to this channel, you can keep coming back for more safety and growth scores and intrinsic values for your favorite companies. So Birkenstock coming in with some pretty decent numbers. Their PEG ratio is a 0.8. What we like to see is companies that come with PEGs under 2. Under 1 is a screaming buy. Birkenstock coming in with a 0.8, that is really good news. Their forward PE is a 13.3. And if we look at their 5-year forward PE, that is an 8.4, which is really, really nice to see. So what that means is if you were to buy Birkenstock right now, you're getting it for 8 times its earnings if they can execute on roughly 13% growth every year for the next 5 years. So they have really nice profit margins at 17.7%. Pretty decent looking 5-year revenue growth and EPS growth. The fact that these numbers are bolded lets us know that these are some of the best in the list. Now remember, we like PEG ratios to be under 2. Decker is slightly under 2, but we really want that to be under 1. So it's at 1.8 for Decker, not the best number, but their debt to equity, very nice at 0.1. Return on equity at 40%, return on invested capital at 62%, profit margins at over 19%. That is really nice to see. Again, their free cash flow yield is almost at that 7% mark, and you're getting Decker at an 8.8 5-year forward PE if they can execute on almost 10% growth every year for the next 5 years. Lululemon also coming in with very impressive numbers with a 12.3 forward PE. That is the cheapest of all 5 of these companies. However, their PEG is coming in at 3.1. That is well above that 2 threshold that we look for. Their debt to equity pretty decent at 0.4. Their return on equity and invested capital looking great at 34 and 28% respectively. Second best free cash flow yield at a 5% even, and the best 5-year forward PE at 7.8. And then there's Nike. Nike, not very good growth in its future. So they are expecting 5-year EPS growth to be about 11.3%. I think that might be kind of optimistic. Free cash flow yield not looking too good at 3.8. Their 5-year forward PE at almost a 17. When you look at these other single-digit companies, 17 just doesn't cut it. Their PEG ratio is a 3.5. Their forward PE is 25. So not good numbers across the board for Nike. And then finally, On Holding, PEG ratio at 0.7. That is actually the lowest of all 5 of these companies. Their debt to equity is 0.3. Very, very nice. Second place of all these companies. And their 5-year EPS growth is expected to be 33.3%. And that gives us a 5-year forward PE at 10.9. So not the best of these 5 companies, but coming in very, very strong if they can execute on that 5-year growth. So looking at their growth scores, also from -10 to +10, we see at the very bottom is not a surprise. Nike did not have any good numbers for it when it comes to growth relative to these other 4 companies. Birkenstock comes in for growth next at a 4.2. Lululemon, the next company to crack that 5 mark, coming in at a 5.2. We have On Holdings coming in with a 6.2. And at the top of the leaderboard for growth is Decker coming in with a 6.7. So we have a growth score for Nike at 1.2. We have a safety score at 5. We average those together, and that gives us an average score of 3.1. Remember, we like our scores to be 5 or higher. We want to make sure that we are investing in quality companies. Now, their current stock price is $44 per share. We think the intrinsic value for Nike is $46 per share. Now, what do we mean by intrinsic value? Well, that's basically what we think this company should be trading for based on their projected growth. And so if you go down to the description of this video, you will see links to 4 different intrinsic value calculators for any company that you want to look at. So there's a link to the PE ratios model, dividend discount, discounted cash flow, and grand valuation models. So check out those videos in the description. Computing the intrinsic value, what a company should be trading worth, what its actual value is based on growth metrics, based on cash flow, based on their dividend, based on their PE ratio, is an absolutely essential, crucial tool for any investor in their toolbox. So check out the links below and build out your own spreadsheets and Google Sheets like I did, so you can value any company that you might be interested in getting a position in. Now, coming back to Nike, we think that the intrinsic value of this company is $46 per share, and that's actually kind of low relative to the average of what analysts are expecting for this company. There are bears out there that say that Nike should be trading for $23 per share. However, there are some bulls that say that actually it's probably going to double within the next year, coming up to $88 per share. But the average consensus on Wall Street is that this is probably around a $65 per share company. That gives us about 47% increase. Overall consensus among the analysts is that Nike is a buy. The next highest scoring company is On Holding. This is coming in with an average score of 5.2. The current stock price is $33 per share. We think that they should be trading for something closer to $45 per share. That gives us a nice, healthy 27% margin of safety for On. So our $45 price target is among some of the lowest of all analysts on Wall Street. The average coming in at about $60 per share. That would be an 80% increase, 82% increase in the stock price over the next year. Now, there is a bull or two out there saying that this is really an $85 per share company. That's about a 2.5-fold increase in your money. So if you invested $100, according to this analyst, you're going to get about $250 within the year. So that's pretty lofty. That's pretty optimistic. But the average consensus is still about an 82% increase in the stock price. Even the bears out there are saying that On Holding is really a $40 stock. That's still a 21% increase in your value over the next year. Birkenstock is up next with an average score of 6.1. Their current stock price is $35 per share. We think that just like On, they should be trading for $45 per share. That gives us a 23% margin of safety. Now, $45 is actually lower than even the lowest analyst. The lowest analyst coming in with a $50 price target, that would imply a 44% increase in the stock price. The average consensus is that Birkenstock is between a $60 and $63 company. That is actually a 73 to 81% increase expected in the stock over the next year. And the most bullish analyst out there comes in with a $77 price target. That is over doubling your money in that time. No surprise, the overall consensus among Wall Street analysts is that this company is a strong buy. Next up, the Interflame Finance score for Lululemon averages a 7. Current price of $156 per share. We think that it should be trading closer for $215 per share. That gives us a 28% margin of safety for Lululemon. So $215 is a little higher than the average consensus on Wall Street, coming in at $190. That would be about a 20% increase in the stock price over the next year. The most bullish analyst coming in with a $280 price target for Lululemon, and the lowest coming in with a $150 price target. That's basically fair value for this company, maybe go down about 3.67%. So the overall consensus on Wall Street is that this company is a hold. But what do you think about Lululemon? Is this a buy? Is this a hold? Or maybe if you've made a little bit of money on this company, is this actually a sell? Let us know in the comments down below. And finally, coming in with the highest growth score at 6.7 and tied for the highest safety score at 8.7 comes Decker with a 7.7 average score. Their current stock price is $98 per share. And as holders of DEC, we want that to certainly go up to the price target for our channel at $140 per share. That would imply a 30% margin of safety for Decker. So 140 is a little optimistic relative to the average consensus on Wall Street. Average price coming in at 122. That would be about a 24% increase in the stock price over the next year. The most bullish analysts saying a 64% increase. And there are bears out there that say that the current stock price is too high. It's probably going to go down to $92 per share. That is a 6.42% decrease in the stock price. Overall consensus for Decker is that this company is a buy. So this would be a great place to remind you that nothing that we say on this channel is financial advice. We are not telling you to buy, hold, or sell anything in your personal portfolio. Always do your own research. Always do your own due diligence before buying, holding, or selling anything. Always consult a qualified professional before making any financial decision. So if we had at Interflame Finance $1,000 to invest into the athletic apparel space, how would we allocate this capital based on our scores and our intrinsic values? Well, probably no surprise that we would not invest into Nike at this time. We currently hold Nike. We're going to continue holding this company, but we don't plan on buying anytime soon. This is due in part because Nike has a score below 5 and it has a single-digit margin of safety just coming in at a 4%. We would maybe consider buying Nike at a 15% discount from our intrinsic value. That would be a $39 price target. And if Nike ever got down to $30 per share, we might consider buying it more heavily. The problem is that they do have a low growth score. We don't like to see that. Their average score coming in at just a 3.1. So we would have to see improvement in the numbers and a much lower stock price to consider buying Nike in our portfolios. However, when it comes to On Brand, we might consider buying this. If we had $1,000, we would consider putting about 19.6% or $196 into this company. And that's due in part to their average score coming in above 5 and also their margin of safety, a very healthy 27%. So this is trading for more than a 15% discount at $38 per share. If it ever got down to 29 or lower, this is something that we might consider buying much more heavily. Next up is Birkenstock. Now Birkenstock coming in with a 6.1 score, so slightly higher than On Brand and coming in with a margin of safety slightly lower at 23%. And so the overall effect of that is that we would put slightly more money into Birkenstock. We would put 20% or $200 of our $1,000 into Birkenstock, and basically identical numbers to On. If it ever got down to $38 per share, we would consider a buy, which it is. It's at 35. And if it ever got down to 29 or lower, we would buy probably much more heavily if we were interested in the athletic apparel space. Now, Lululemon comes in with a 28% margin of safety. We would put 27.5% of our capital into this company if we wanted to invest in this space. We're getting more than a 15% discount. That's at the 183 threshold, and it's currently trading for 156. And if Lululemon got down to 140 or lower, this is something that if we had conviction in this company, we would buy much more heavily. And finally, Decker gets about a third of our money. Of our $1,000, we would put 32.9% or $329 into Decker. And that is because they have the highest margin of safety coming in at 30%, and they have the highest average score at 7.7. So of these 5 companies, we would not buy Nike, but we would consider positions in the other 4, probably allocate a good deal of our capital to Decker. So again, not financial advice, do your own research, do your own due diligence, but if you got anything out of this video, please consider liking this video. That would help out our channel quite a bit. We are growing, we are expanding, and we are very excited to bring the good news of Interflame Finance to a wider audience. Now be sure to tell your friends and your family and your mother-in-law all about Interflame Finance. We love having you here. Thanks for watching the video, and we'll see you in the next one.